All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue the year one offseason with our Ottawa Senators. We just had the draft. We took Travis Konecny and Evgeny Dadonov in the first round. We've signed them, and now we're here at free agency, and, there's actually some good free agents available this year. No studs, like an Anze Kopitar or something like that, right? But considering we need to bolster our bottom six wingers, Curtis Glencross, Eric Cole, Bergenheim, let me just sort by forwards right now. There's some other ones in there. Yeah, there you go. Chris Stewart, Sean Matthias, Daniel Winnick, Steve Downey, Eric Fair, Jarrett Stoll, Joel Ward. Plenty of wingers for the bottom six that can help our team because I want to make it back to the playoffs. I think that our young squad is going to be a better team for next year, but we did trade away David Legwand, so that was one of our bottom six players, and I would like to get established wingers instead of a center playing on the wing, right? So we go back to contracts, and I'll just get you guys back up to speed with our roster. So Andrew Hammond and Robin Lehner are two goaltenders. We don't need to get a goalie. Defensemen, Carlson, Mathot, CC, Weirkoch, Braun, and Phillips. We do have the six defensemen. Maybe it would be smart to go out and get a depth defenseman if an injury happens or if Chris Phillips drops off a little bit. And then forwards, centers, we have enough centers. Kyle Turris, Benajad, Wingles, and Zach Smith down the middle. Curtis Lazar also might become a third-line center. I don't know how much this guy's going to jump. Hopefully he jumps a lot. And then left wingers, MacArthur and Hoffman. And on the right side, we got Ryan and Stone. And then after that, we need... we could play Chiasson, we could play Chris Neal, we could play Condra. Evgeny Dadonov's not going to get the chance to play this year, boys. He's got to get a year in the minors down there to get better. Colin Greening. But all these guys that I've mentioned on the wing, I think these would be better off as our depth players, and we go out and get, like I said, like a Daniel Winnick or a Joel Ward, somebody to really bolster our bottom six, okay? So now that you know the roster, before we go into free agency, I have some comments that you guys put forward that I want to address. First, Johnny, personally, I think you should sign Daniel Winnick as a third-line winger to replace David Legwand. He is a 83 overall, and he is 30 years old, so he has experience that he can use with someone like young players like Curtis Lazar. His physicality and offensive awareness are what you need to improve your power play and on the penalty kill. To improve the power play, I don't think I'd put Daniel Winnick on the power play. I'd definitely use him on the penalty kill, though. He'll be a player that can play a strong forecheck and still manage to keep the opposition at bay. Sign him for 2 years to start, and if he plays like a goofball McGundy, trade him maybe for a draft pick or a lower 80 overall or upper 70 overall forward. All right, so that does make sense for a Daniel Winnick. If he doesn't work out year one, I can trade him at the trade deadline, but we're not looking forward to that. I'm trying to make the playoffs. Next, sign Ward and Winnick for the bottom six. I only have just under $8 million, right? So I'd like to sign multiple players. We also still have to think about that depth defenseman as well. So the guys who cost a lot of money might not work. We'll see if I can get Ward and Winnick. Next, bring Fisher back to Ottawa. Ooh, Mike Fisher. I could see that happening. Guy, former Ottawa Senator here. It's only a 1 year deal, and the only thing your team really needs is a bottom six forward. He is a center, though. Sure, $6 million is a lot for a bottom six guy. Oh, he's asking for $6 million. That might be a little bit too much, man. But it's a good story, reuniting Fisher, Neal, and Phillips for one last cup run all together while Alfie's watching from the box. You got a big gritty player with talent for the bottom six in 1 year, blah, 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 blah. All right, so you definitely have a point with reuniting Fisher back with Chris Neal and Chris Phillips. But you know what, man? If you say he's worth $6 million, that means I can only get Fisher and maybe not another guy. I need to get like 3 players here, right? So I don't think that's going to work if he costs that much. I'll take a look at it. Next comment, Johnny, you have to sign Mike Fisher. Another one. Here we go. He spent most of his career in Ottawa. Man, these spelling. I'm thinking that I'm messing up. No, it's the spelling mistakes in the comments here. And is a great two-way forward. Trade Greening so you have more cap space. Oh, that's true. I could trade away Colin Greening to free up some cap space. And then you could put Fisher on the third line. Bring Fisher home, Johnny. Nah, you know what, though? Oh, yeah, I'll get to it in a second. God damn it. You guys are making me think now. And last comment, Johnny, you half a go get Marco Scandella from the Minnesota Wild. Oh, this guy wants a trade. You said you increased his stats a little. I did because he's signed to a long-term contract, and he's way too low before this. His play is brilliant, and he is growing as he should be. He could be a slightly lower overall Johnny Boychuk. Man, you guys and your writing. Great slap shot from the point. Could be the piece to the puzzle for the top 4 in D. As for forwards, I would say wait until we see what we have in regards to Stone and Hoffman before we go for a top 6 or a top line winger. Absolutely. So Marco Scandella suggested that I go for a trade. All right. We could do that. We have some we have some fan art, but we'll get to that while we're simulating the offseason here to get to the preseason. So here we go. So first up, let's see defenseman. Is there anybody? No. See, all these guys that are like $2 million, I wouldn't sign. I'm looking for a guy who's like, there you go, like 1.5 or less. Like Schlemko. There you go. Yeah, like Scott Hannon. He could drop, though. There you go, Schlemko. Yeah, you know what? Schlemko could work. Defensive awareness, 84. Shot blocking, 84. Stick checking, 84. That could definitely work. 2 years, 1.5. I'll go to 1 year, 1.6. Yeah, that works out for me. I want a depth defenseman here, boys. All right? And we just have to do it. So there you go, 1.65 for Schlemko. All right, we won't worry about anyone else down there. Ooh, Bartkowski, actually. You know what? I'll get Bartkowski as well, because I think, yeah, a two-way deal. That works out for us. All right, there you go. Bartkowski on the team. Now, let's see what you guys were talking about. Mike Fisher, $6 million, guys. I just don't see that happening, man. If I jack up the years, I could, but I don't want to mess with it, because he could drop this year being 35, drop down to like an 82, and then I can't trade him, and then no, I can't do it, boys. It's just not in the cards. If he was willing to take $3 million or less, I'd do it, but no way I'm going to get Mike Fisher at $6 million, all right? It's just way too much. Now, Darren Helm wouldn't be a bad bet, but for some reason, I've never really seen Darren Helm play that well in GM modes. Like, he's a two-way forward. I know he's got a good defensive awareness, but he doesn't have a good physical category, and his offensive categories aren't the greatest for a two-way forward either, right? So he's a little bit too much as well. I'd rather get grinders or power forwards for the bottom 6, all right? Unless he's got a really good offensive category. I'm just not liking it. Matthias Stoll, Richardson. See, we really don't... I think we're fine for centers, so let's look for the wingers, left wingers, all right? Curtis Glencross, $4 million, no. Daniel Winnick, so this is why Daniel Winnick works out, because he only wants $3 million, and a 2-year deal at 30 years old, that would make sense. It's not like I'm overpaying him here, so like 2 years, yeah, that would make sense. $3 million, I might be able to get him for $3 million, but I don't want to chance this. I want to get him, so 2 years, $3.15 million for Daniel Winnick, all right? There you go. So now we should be up to, what, $5 million? So I'd say I have like 2.5 left to get somebody else. Go for Joel Ward. Let's see how much Joel Ward, 3.3. I don't think I'll be able to get Joel Ward. Eric Fair, 3. Eric Cole. Chris Stewart. Okay, so we're going to have to... Hang on a sec. We're going to have to... Thomas Kopecky. No. Kopecky's not good enough. Chris Stewart. He's not a bad power forward. Yeah, he's a little bit cheaper than Joel Ward. That's the reason. All right, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to simulate a day at a time here just because I want to see how much cap space I have available. No teams are interested in these guys just yet, so they won't sign. So let's just go ahead a day. All right, there you go. Go back to the right wingers here. Let's see, anybody interested? Nobody's interested in these players yet, so we can go another day. Advance a day. There you go. All right. I just want to see how much money, because if I have the money, I'd love to get Joel Ward. If I don't, then I'll go after Chris Stewart, okay? You can save up some cash in that. Actually, not that much. 1 year for Joel Ward. Yeah, I would only want to give Joel Ward a 1-year deal. Eric Fair. I wouldn't mind getting Eric Fair, though, as well. You know what? Eric Fair might be the better bet if I'm going to go to $3 million, 29 years old. Steve Downey. No, I'm not going to get Steve Downey. Eric Fair might actually, yeah, you know what? I'd rather get Eric Fair just because of the age and contracts and everything. So we'll just keep on going here. We'll see what happens. Come on now. Anybody? Still nobody signed yet? What the hell's going on? Right wingers. All right, so they got some deals here. Did Chris Stewart? Come on now, sign on my team. Damn it, has been enough time. Let's see. All right, so Bartkowski's on the team, Schlemko's on the team, and Daniel Winnick's on the team. How much cash we got left over? I have to back out quickly. We have just see what I mean? See what I mean? All right, so we just have 2.955. This is going to be close. I wonder if we could get Eric Fair for that kind. Let's see. If I give him 3 years, 3 years would only take him to 32. I think that would be fine. He does already have the 3.5 star, though. You know what? No, I could do that. Anaheim's already interested in him, though. This is going to be a dangerous one, boys. 4 years? No, I don't think I want to do that. I'll give him a 3-year deal, but I got to go as low as 2.85. I don't want to be that close to the cap. That'll be hard to make roster moves, all right? So 3 years at 2.85 for Eric Fair. I can only go as high as 2.85. Joel Ward. Let's see, if I go 2 years for Joel Ward, yeah, it's just 34 years old, boys. It's a little bit too dangerous. Nah, I don't want to do that. In 1 year, I do it. You know what? I'll try this, though. I'll try this. 1 year. All right, 2.850 probably won't work. I'll try it out though. Eric Cole. Don't want Eric Cole. He's more of an offensive player. Chris Stewart's. Eric Cole has better defensive stats than Chris Stewart. What about left wingers? Is another left winger over here? No, there's not. All right, right wingers. Yeah, we'll just try it out. Chris Stewart. Here we go. Oh man, 2 years, 3 years. I'll give you 2 years. Go back to 2.850. All right. I don't care. One of these guys can sign, and I'm not going to try for Eric Cole. So we put in a bid for Joel Ward, Eric Fair, and Chris Stewart. They didn't get the kind of money that they were hoping for, so every single one of them might not sign, right? But we don't have the cap space. So this is what I was going back to about, what's his name? Mike Fisher. It's just not going to work on this team. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Simulated day. I just want one of those guys, just one, either or. All right, so Chris Stewart, appreciate the interest, but I've decided to go with another team, so we didn't get Chris Stewart. Now we're down to 2. Joel Ward and Eric Fair. Come on, don't go with other teams. Oh, Eric Fair decided to go with another team. That's not good. All right, see what I mean? We don't have the cash. The other teams are beating us to him. All right, Joel Ward. See, team interested. It's still only 1, so we're the only team interested. He may sign with us, but it might not be enough money. If not, maybe I should just go for a Steve Downey. I don't know what to do. This is dangerous. All right, let's just see if we get Joel Ward. I don't really want a Steve Downey. He does get a lot. Yes! All right, we got Joel Ward. Nobody else was going after him, so we got him on a 1-year deal at 2.85. That's a very good contract for us, for Joel Ward. It makes sense. All right, so let me just make sure. It was 1 year, right? Let me just make sure. Right wingers. Joel Ward, yeah, 1 year, 2.85 for an 83 overall. So we got Joel Ward in there. We got Daniel Winnick in there, 2 bottom 6 wingers, and we also got a depth defenseman in Schlemko, okay? Just because 6 defensemen's not enough. And actually, we also have Bartkowski, so we have 2 depth defensemen, and we have plenty of depth forwards in Greening and Chris Neal and Chiasson and Condra and Pajot. All right, so I actually like the way we built our team. So let's go to preseason here. All right. Now we'll do a little power of video editing, but first we'll get the fan art out of the way. First up, destined for greatness, the next NHL superstar has arrived to our nation's capital, Evgeny Dadonov. I'm hoping for big things, man. I mean, I didn't want to draft you, but make it so that I regret that feeling. I want Evgeny Dadonov to lead us to the Stanley Cup now. And look at this. The future is bright. The future is Ottawa. Konecny, Dadonov, LeBlanc, Bear, Core, and Leno. Oh, this guy got all the real pictures and everything. What beast. So there was our drafting day. Very nice, very nice. And last but not least, the Ottawa Senators are disappointed to select from Rimouski, Evgeny Dadonov. The big tear in Superb Man's face. Oh, my God. But Murray, yeah, you know what? I'm sure Murray's okay with it. But you know what? You guys, the fans, they wanted their voice to be heard. You guys said Evgeny Dadonov belongs on this team. We got it done. Now he's got to perform, all right? Now he's got to perform. There we go. All right, so let's just go through our team here. And look at that. Robin Lehner jumped up to an 85, so that's good for us. Now we can go back and forth the entire year. Robin will probably get 41 games played, and so will Andrew Hammond. So we had a decision to make. Do we want to let it run like that, or should we turn off automated goalie rotations and go with the hotter goaltender? I just like that. That's going to make our team even better because we're going to have an 85 overall goaltender. But then again, you know, we want to play Robin Lehner so he becomes even better for next year. So I want you guys to go nuts with that. Hammond and Lehner, what should we do? Defensively, Cody Ceci jumped up to an 85. That's very good. Braun, Mathot, 84. Weirkoch, 84. Phillips, 82. So Phillips stayed at an 82, but he dropped to 3 stars. All right. But he still gets the start for right now. So Cody Ceci, maybe Cody Ceci on the first line. I still think Weirkoch should get the chance the first line. Cody Ceci, we can take time and grooming him. He's not a top 2 player just yet. Mathot, Braun, Phillips, and Borowicki, Greiba. I'll just put these guys down there. There you go. And then forwards. Curtis Lazar jumped up to an 82. That's good for us. Pajot up to an 81. We'll see if he's got a spot on the team this year. Condra, Pumpel, 77. He's got another year in the AHL for sure. Dadonov is 75, boys. Let him stay in the junior team. Rimouski. All right. No. All right, Condra. Let's just take everybody off the team that we can to see. Pajot. Yeah, Pajot is kind of the odd one out. We can still sit Chris Neal and Chiasson, I think. Yeah, there you go. And Pajot now. There you go. So let's see. Remember, we have Chiasson and Chris Neal. I think I actually want to play Chiasson. He's still getting a little... Power forward. Yeah, you could get good. Maybe a fourth line checker kind of thing. So we have to worry about Chase on, all right? But here's our lineup the way it is with best lines and our best overall players. Kyle Turris, 87. Bobby Ryan, 89. Clark MacArthur, 85. Hoffman, 84. Stone, 84. So they stayed at 84. Damn it, man. I wanted them to grow. But they're still only 23 years old for Stone. Hoffman's a little bit older, right? 25? Yeah, 25. All right, I'm hoping that they can get a little bit better, but 84 proved to be good enough last year. Zibanejad stayed at 85. All right, Smith and Wingles, and then we have Curtis Lazar an 82. Winnick and Joel Ward, Pajot's in there. So we have, this is actually one of those good problems. We have a lot of roster players here. I'll remember the players that we didn't address as well, Shea Son and Chris Neal, all right? So this is where you guys need to go nuts and defensively go nuts. Power play, penalty kill, everything, okay? So, because I know you guys probably have some suggestions here. But when it comes to depth, Shea Son, Neal, Greening, Schlemko, Kondra, Bartkowski, and Borowicki. All right, so we definitely have some injury replacements for this year. But I think we could start off the season by making a trade. I mean, we have a little bit too many players here on the top. Pajot is kind of a weird player. I'd want to hold on to him, but as a playmaker, do you want him as a third-line center? He's never going to be a second-line center. A third-line center, that would take off Wingles or Curtis Lazar. You could always trade him for somebody, right? So, or you could hold on to him. I don't know. I'm not going to make any decisions as of right now. You guys can chime in with that. All right, we won't go crazy just yet. So let's go. Yeah, let's go all the way up to the first day of the NHL. Don't worry, I don't think there's any. Now, there wouldn't be any negatives. I'm not going to have any players that can't be brought up to the NHL once we pass it. I just want to go through every other team in the NHL. So let's do a little power of video editing. All right, so you know what I realized? I don't want to go up to the regular season just yet, just in case there's anything. But I can still show you guys the top players. So what we'll do is, this is what we're going to do every year before we start resimulating. Forwards, just the first line forwards to start. Oh, for fuck's sake, hang on. First line forwards. There you go. All right, so here are all the first line forwards in the NHL sorted by overall. So you can see who the best forwards are in the, what is this, the top 25 players or something like that. All right, so expect that to change every single year. Dan, you can see also the trade value if we can have a potential trade. Datsuk's dropped a little bit as a 93 overall. That's pretty good, man. You could trade like a first and a prospect to get Datsuk for 1 year at 93 overall. Not too shabby. Let me just go. You know what? We can do this. Yeah, centers. There you go. Let me sort by overall. There you go. Left wingers. Looks like that. And right wingers. Looks like that. Okay, so you can see all the top forwards in the NHL. Now we'll go to defensemen. The top 2 defensemen in the NHL. Looks like that. All right, overall-wise, Shea Weber, Ryan Suter. Man, imagine if Nashville still had Suter. Doughty, Pietrangelo, Roman Josi, Hedman, Carlson. Some people were saying, imagine a Victor Hedman alongside of Erik Karlsson. There's no way Tampa would give up Hedman, though. That would be sweet. Jesus, the super sweet combination. And last but not least, let's check out the goaltenders. Elite goaltenders, no starting goaltenders. We'll go elite. All right, there you go. Carey Price, Lundqvist, Jonathan Quick, Pekka Rinne. Any new ones that popped up? No new ones that just popped up. It's only year 1. I wanted to see if anyone got a major bump. As of right now, not yet. And the last thing we do to check, where is it? Contracts or, yeah, contracts. Contracts, I believe. Yes, main roster. All right, so we'll go, there you go. So there's our top players. Philadelphia's top players. Voracek's taking over. What about, you know what, that's what it is. Yeah, that's why I have to do that. Hang on a second here. That's why I have to simulate up to the day. Because the other NHL teams, while they're in preseason, they'll have like their top players down in the AHL to make room for their AHL players who are getting time to play in preseason. So hang on a second. There you go, blah, blah, blah. I think we're already salary cap compliant. We're fine. All right, so let's just stop it right there. So the first game of the NHL season. Now let's go through all the other teams' contracts. There you go. All right, so Ottawa. So back to Philadelphia. Giroux should be there. There you go. There's Giroux. So Giroux 92, Voracek 91. Okay, there's still the top 2. Pittsburgh, Crosby, and Malkin. Nothing's changed there. Pavelski and Vlasic, the top 2. Thornton and Marleau are still 88. Pietrangelo and Shattenkirk. Maybe we could trade for a defenseman there. Tampa Bay, Stamkos, and Hedman. See what I mean about Hedman? Why the hell would they trade him, man? Big contract year coming up for Tampa Bay, though. Toronto, Kessel and JVR. Vancouver, the Sedin twins are still 88s overall, so that's pretty good. Washington, Ovechkin. Man, this guy's playing amazing right now. I want to watch the Washington series. The goals that this guy's scoring. 96 overall, well worth it. Winnipeg, Bafuglin and Wheeler. Anaheim, Getzlaf, and Perry. Yeah, expect that. Still don't really recognize any new names as of right now. Doesn't seem like anyone's jumped. I want to see what Columbus is like, though, and who didn't take, it was New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey didn't take McDavid. Boston, Bergeron and Krejci. Buffalo, Gergensons and Ennis. Giordano and Gaudreau. So good, and there you go. Johnny Gaudreau with 5 Red Star jumped up to 88 in year 2. It's not that bad. Monahan 86. My God, they're gonna have an amazing team in the future. Carolina, Stahl and Skinner. Chicago, Taze and Kane. My God, what a stacked team. Colorado, Duchesne, McKinnon. All right, very nice. Columbus, there you go. Where is McDavid? So they're playing McDavid this year, 85 overall. That's good. So Connor McDavid is going to be in the Calder race this year for sure. I'm glad. I didn't want him being sat down or benched in year number 1. Dallas Sagan and Ben. Klingberg is up there as well. Datsuk still got the 4.5 star, boys. That's a good trade, just waiting to happen. I don't think we can afford his cap though. Edmonton. Whoa, Taylor Hall dropped to Red Star. I didn't do that. Damn, man, I did not do that. Eberle's better than Taylor Hall right now. He must have had a bad year, or they played him too much or something. I did not drop him to Red Star. Florida, Ekblad's up to 87 now with his 5 gold. Holy shit. Doughty and Kopitar. That makes sense. Minnesota. There you go. I want to see, is New Jersey playing him this year? PK Subban and Galchenyuk. Nashville, Shea Weber, and Roman Josi jumped up to a 91. Woo! You guys wanted to make him not so underrated. I gave him the 4.5 gold in 1 year. Jesus, Nashville, that's dirty. New Jersey, let's see. I swear to God, if he's not playing. Oh my God. Yeah, they are playing him. Jack Eichel, he is playing. 80 overall. I was going to say, man. The Islanders, John Tavares. Okay. The Rangers, Rick Nash and McDonough. They got a good team as well. And Ottawa, we're back to Ottawa. All right, so there you go. There's the season 2 or the year 2 preview of other teams. And again, going back to our squad, what should we do, boys? I want to come out on fire this year. We have 2 goaltenders that are the same overall, so you guys have to decide with what we should go with those 2. And with the forward core, I think the defensive core is already set. We can make some line changes as well. You know, I could put the 2 defensive line back together and have CC on the top 6, but he could have first-line power play time, so he could equal out the ice time that way, just because we had a really good defensive team last year with Braun and Method on the second line. But again, anything and everything that you guys may have. I'm going to put a link in the video in the comments section to the website. We're going to dictate a whole thread to this because I want to know what lineups and any trades that we may be able to make before we start the sim. We have a plethora of young players, and Pajot, an 81 playmaker who's not in the top 6, who's not quite good enough defensively to be in the bottom 6 of a playoff team. What should we do with this guy? Play him in the AHL for 1 more year or ship him out for somebody better? Let me know, boys, and I'll see you in the next one.